Welcome to Build Your Maverick Business, the podcast for underdog, outlier, and renegade entrepreneurs. If you dream of going off on your own and launching your rebel empire, but don't know where to start, you're in the right place. We'll teach you how to use mindset, branding, and practical advice to build a killer business and transform your world. And now, here's your host, Alex Pitt.
All right, you lot, welcome back. It is sunny as fuck in London today. It has been for a few days. Now, I don't want to jinx it, but oh my God, we might be heading towards summer. Just maybe. I'm going to get my factor 50 out. Can't be losing the pastiness now. Now, I have this routine, a morning routine that has evolved over the years. I'm definitely better at sticking to it in the summer because it's light out, it's gorgeous out there, and that routine starts with a morning walk. Now, I'm not, and I don't think I will ever be part of the getting up at 5 a.m. club, but I do like to be up early-ish so I can have a wander around our lovely, leafy local parks. I salute all of the magpies like a crazy woman, go for a lovely little stroll around, see the sights, dodge the cyclists, and when my legs start to hurt, I start heading back and nip into the supermarket, our local shop, for a few bits. So I'm back in time for breakfast. Rock and roll, I know. The exciting, fast-paced life I lead. But it's just my little commute, right, to break up the day. Working from home, it's nice to have a little bit of structure. Nice to feel like you don't just spend every waking second within the same four walls. So it's a nice, solid blocker between work time and home time. As part of that routine today, I found myself in the local supermarket in the wee hours-ish when there's no one around. That is the best time to do it. I'm not saying I hate most of Johnny Public, but they do walk really slowly. So yeah, early in the morning, best time to go. It's pretty much just me and the staff. And I have a particular fondness for supermarket workers in general. Back in the day, I used to work for two major supermarkets. This is my late teens into my early 20s. I would start my shift on a Sunday morning on the fish counter, no less, usually a bit hungover from whatever student night I was at the night before. And the trials would begin. There would be furious old ladies screaming bloody pissing murder at you because you picked the wrong bit of salmon, not the one they were pointing at. There's the guy that would walk around the back of the counter and start helping himself to everything, breaking, I think, every food hygiene law in the process. There was this one, gaggle of diehard, tight-ass leeches who would see us walking around about to start making reductions with the little yellow labels on food, and they would, I'm not joking, literally chase us. They would wave packets of near expired Coronation chicken in our faces just so they could get 20p off. Now that one we did have a lot of fun with, actually. We'd send out a decoy, usually the new kid, with a handset and a printer to distract them, so they'd head up the wrong end of the store and leave us in peace to do our work. All fun and games. But yeah, once you've experienced nearly having a pensioner take your eye out with a packet of Scotch eggs, you do have a real soft spot for those brave souls who still wander the aisles of the local Tesco. Now, what you have to understand, dear listeners, if you've never worked in retail before, Johnny Public does not know their arse from their elbow 99% of the time. I did used to wonder, as a reasonably unfussed, unbothered and unserious 19-year-old, how these fully grown adults didn't fall down more. I think we all did. The people that would frequent these stores would shock us sometimes with how complicated they could make the simplest of tasks and how much they relied on us to guide them smoothly through and hold their hands. So I was really tickled recently when I saw a meme that summed up the experience perfectly. There was this photo, right, of a self-checkout machine in a major supermarket that had what appeared to be far too many signs surrounding it, all with the same message: card only till. There was a lot of attention drawn to the fact that you could only pay by card at this particular checkout. The caption of this image, that someone had taken this photo and captioned it, "Do you think this is a card checkout only?" To which a very savvy retail worker replied, "As someone who has worked on the self-checkout in the past, yes, you will need more signs." It is unfortunately true, not just of supermarket checkouts, but of guiding users to purchase from you in general, particularly if you have an online store. Now, I must mention here, my loves, that I'm not saying your potential customers are stupid. What I am saying is that they're distracted. If you're finding that you've got a nice flow of traffic to your website, a lot of sign-ups to your mailing list or so on, but the actual conversion, the amount of people who are actively parting with their cash is on the low side, you might just have to assume they're a bit thick. If your buying process requires more than half a brain cell to figure it out, you are setting your audience up to drop off even before they hit add to cart. And I am speaking from experience, not just for myself, but I've done a lot of work recently with my clients on their user journeys. One thing that rings true for everyone is this: flawless user experience means hand holding from the first touch point to the final thank you for your purchase email. And by that, I mean spoon-fed clarity, big buttons, very simple language. Now, if you've listened in the past, think back to the episode, What Really Is User Experience? That's the one where I went on a rant about cocktails and having to wait forever to get served a pint. I got really frustrated waiting to be served in this one particular bar that happened to be a games arcade bar. The setup of the venue was very poor, and as a result, tons of people were waiting to buy games tokens and get drinks despite there being so many staff. If someone has to solve a riddle just to get something as simple as ordering a drink, they're out. You want to have neon arrows pointing to the exact next move. Click here, do this, boom, you're in, you're done. Now I've got a few pointers of how not to do this. I'm not going to delve too far into them because I'm hoping they're fairly self-explanatory. How many have I got? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for you. Oh, you lucky listeners, 5. Right, let's go. First up, and this is a simple one, do not bury your call to action. It's not a treasure hunt. By call to action, I mean, do you want them to click a button to book a call with you? Do you want them to press a button to add something to cart? Make sure that it's glaringly obvious where that button is and exactly what it's going to do. We want that call to action, your CTA if you like, to go in early, high up the page, and repeat it often. No one should have to scroll for 3 minutes past 20 icons and decode some long-ass brand story just to find the book now button. Number 2, and this is if you have a service-based business specifically, please don't describe it in excruciating detail before inviting any kind of sale. Now you can of course tell people in more detail what you do, but you want to hook them first. Get the buy-in, then you can go deeper. So think of it like, here is the transformation, click to work with me. Then if they're still curious, you can unpack your method. You can tell them a bit more about what you do. Next, please be categorizing things. Don't leave everything scattered all over the shop. If you've got multiple services or multiple products or just lots of different offers, get that shit organized. Get them into clear categories, filter it all, make it easy to navigate. Don't ever let people guess which page they're supposed to click. They won't. They just won't. They'll be back on TikTok in a heartbeat. Okay, next. Don't rely on cleverness over clarity. Look at that, a bit of alliteration for you. So you can write a very, very, very overwhelming, seemingly incredibly intelligent headline that makes you sound super fucking smart, but it's not very helpful if people don't know what the hell you're selling. So if you're coming at it with a, we revolutionized human potential using quantum energetic matrix, no, what? Try, we help you stop procrastinating and hit your goals faster. Lovely. I know what that is. I know if I want it or not. Prioritize that clarity. Okay, finally, and this is the graphics nerd in me coming out, but please don't use 18 different fonts, flashing banners. Don't be auto-playing anything. Basically, unless you are planning on building a time machine back to 2002, please keep the design clean. Simplicity isn't boring, it's very powerful. Because like I say, if your brain has got too many things to focus on, you're just going to be distracted, you're going to get bored, you're going to go and do something else. When someone lands on your site, you should really only have one headline for them to focus on that gives them absolute clarity about what's going on, who you are, what you do, and what they're going to get out of visiting this website. You've probably got about 5 seconds to make it clear. Tell them why they should care. No fluff, no filler, just the facts. Now, if you need a good acid test for whether or not this works and your flow is working as it should, your user journey is flawless and handhold friendly, here's a bit of a controversial tip for you. Try and do it pissed at 2 a.m. Or at least pretend. I'm not encouraging you to go off and drink a load of Malbec to be able to get your work done. But imagine you're like toddler level, inebriated in the wee hours of the morning. If that version of you can't figure it out in 30 seconds, it probably needs a bit of attention. Right, to summarise, pals, people aren't necessarily stupid or lazy, they're just busy, they are tired, and they are bombarded by options. So just give them the easiest path possible. Think toddler instructions, not corporate onboarding. Hold their hand, walk them through, make them feel like a genius for pressing a bloody button. If you make it easy, they'll stick around. If you make it effortless, they will come back for more. All right, you lot, that's it. I'm out. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will catch you here next time. If you love what you're hearing in this podcast, but you are still yet to start that rebel empire of your own, I've got something that might help. Head over to the show notes of this episode where you will find a free 7-step action plan to kickstarting your first side hustle. It's got pretty pictures, it's got activities. What more could you want, my loves? Get it downloaded, try it out, let me know how you get on.